everyone, this is Mary again, and today I am out in my garden. I am going to be participating in a challenge being hosted by Momdas Handmade and Secondhand Tracy Ann, and it's called a useful DIY, and the theme is that you must use rope. Now I have this tree stump that I got from a friend of mine when they had to cut down a huge cottonwood in their yard, and I took some of the tree stumps home with me. I love them in the garden. You can set container plants on top of them or different kinds of yard art, but which I actually used this stump for when I first got it. But over time it started to decompose, and actually this center part right here of the stump began to rot, and I noticed that. And so when I did, I pulled out some of the rotten pieces and added soil. Well, over time, the next couple of years, I noticed that this bark on the outside of the trunk of the tree began to loosen and decay as well. And actually, I'm going to try to go around the corner here to show you how I lost a very big piece of it right here on this back side. So I got this flat flagstone and I tucked it in there. Well, then the next year, which was last year, it was loosening even more, and you can see I've lost some of the bark right here as well. And so I decided I was going to rectify that by tying this jute rope around it to hold the bark on, because I like that look of the bark on the trunk of this stump. Well, it's getting looser, and because our theme is rope for this challenge, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stump with even more of this jute rope, and I'll show you how I do it to hold this flagstone piece in better, and then also the tops of the bark up here, which are getting looser and looser over time. And I'll go ahead and get started on that. So here's my stump, as you can see, and I have my jute rope here that I'm going to go ahead and begin wrapping it around to secure my bark, as I mentioned earlier. And then I want to go ahead and plant it as well. I have some lovely plants to put in here. This stump is underneath my autumn purple ash tree, so it's in deep shade all summer long, but it is a really nice bright spot in the shade here, just so pretty. Now let's move on and I will begin this process. As you can see, I have my rope tied around my tree trunk, and now I'm going to go ahead and add my plants. So I have this lovely coleus, the variety, let's see if I can see, it's called Salsa Verde. So this is going to be toward the back of my planter now that I've created with this stump. I have two dragon wing begonias that do quite well in the shade. I'm going to place them here. And then I have an English ivy, a solid colored one, that I'm going to use to trail over the edges of the tree stumps. So I'll plant those in really quickly, and then we'll take a look at this final project. And oh, by the way, whoopsie, I wanted to mention that I'm going to be adding this Ozma coat. It is a time release or slow release fertilizer, and it is for flowers and vegetables, which means, excuse me, got a little itch right there, probably a bug. Anyway, it promotes blooms on plants, so I really would especially like to see my begonias doing some fabulous blooms here in the shade over the course of the summer. So we'll add this first, and then I'll get to planting. I'm back for a couple of final words. I wanted first of all to say thank you to Tracy Ann and Mom Das for hosting this fun challenge. I hope you like the results of my use of rope to take an old tree stump and make it into something useful, which is a cute planter for my garden. And I hope you like the look of the plants in this old tree stump. And maybe you can, take advantage of this idea and do something useful with rope in your garden as well. So I'll see you in my next video. I hope you all are having a lovely summer, and well, we'll be back again very soon.